Okay, I'm Kipp for the night. My name's Kipp.
Hey, Kim.
Kipp, K-I-P-P. So my question is, why do men lack dick discipline? Like that shit is normalized for them. They act like it's okay and it's not, and now they walking around with a lot of sexually transmitted demons.
Not diseases, but demons.
A lot of it, I think, ain't even their fault. Stay with me. I think their culture kind of conditioned them into believing that was success, that was it was worthy of praise from your peers. Like I didn't get pounds from my homies for taking out my mom's trash out or learning how to change the brakes. I got compliments and daps and respect in my neighborhood by either putting in work or having baddies. And it wasn't, and then even when you had them, I don't think a lot of men were honest about actually liking the girl they was with. It was more applauded when you had another girl in addition to the girl you had. And then we turned on the television and that's all that was on TV. And then we put our radios on and it was in our radios. You know, and we probably wasn't in the church, we wasn't in the community center. We probably didn't have a real relationship with an OG, like a man of honor or integrity. So it's kind of hard to ask, you know, where he would get that from. Praise the Lord.
But also,
Praise the Lord.
I really want to add that I always say that women we have control over all this shit. And so if we would shut it down, right, they're not putting a whatever in the grass, it's with all of us that are here in this audience. So men would have a lot more sexual discipline if women close up shop.
There
so we set the
needs
standard.
to be a reduction in vagina nationwide, honestly.
No.
Like, it should be cutbacks.
Seriously, it really should. And I always use this analogy, like if women say, I got Cheetos, right? And all of a sudden, we stop selling Cheetos and we want to sell Doritos. But the men come into the vending machine looking for Cheetos. We don't got Cheetos no more. So we set what's being sold, period. And that's just an analogy. We're not talking about selling no bodies. But, you know, we set the standard for what's being sold. And so it takes two. So when men are out here wild, I love y'all. Love you, mean it. The women are out here open for shop like 7-Eleven.
I agree.
But
So we
both of
gotta
those
shut it
things
down.
are okay, right? Like my problem with the dating pool is that they think it's just one big free-for-all community pool. Like there's really separate pools. Like just for the girls who just want to have good times, like good times girls, there's guys who want to have good times with them. And they're both entitled to whatever transactional vibes they want to curate. But there's some people out here that are actually trying to fall in love.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we all hang out together and that's just why we get fucked up. We see the other side. No, like I'm not gonna lie, like I was introduced to love and then I got money and I'm like, yo, girls will come with you regardless. And then, you know, as I would post my girlfriend in public, that would just make me more desirable to a certain group of women. And then I was faced with this crazy choice, like, yo, do I really wanna be outside? Because I could run my movie and go home to my girl and she could be none the wiser. But then that's that fork in the road where you gotta be like, what are you really about? What are you really on? Because the only guys that I have beef with are the ones that don't want to introduce this woman into their lifestyle, but rather pretend to be the lifestyle that she wants. And that's not okay, you a sucker. But if you like, yo, every day of my life is a movie, is vibes, I want to see you today, but I can't promise you tomorrow, but today we gonna ball. And some women might just be on that, and that's okay for them. And if they fuck at some point in that, and they both, you know, are okay with it, praise the Lord.
Let me say this.
Y'all just can't swim together.
I love everybody's comments. I want to speak to yours a little bit. I do think that it is on. Matter of fact, I don't think the onus should be on a woman and whether or not she's opening her legs to a man for him to have dick discipline. It's about us realizing what our worth truly is. And here's the thing. Oftentimes we'll trade peace of mind, good vibes, and energy just for a moment of pleasure with a woman we know we don't like, we don't see a future with, and then you end up with 18 years of companionship with this woman because that created a life with a woman you don't even want to be seen in public with. And here's the thing, I think at some point as men, we got to do better about our bodies and where we yoking our spirits with. And listen, we all grew up where we grew up. How many men have I seen? I don't want to get deep. In some shit whether it's prison, whether it's death, whether it's beef with another man, based off of not being careful where he shared his bed with or who he shared a bed with. I'm saying oftentimes we will trade all sorts of security with self for that. And that's what the dick discipline is about. I'm not saying you gotta not have sex. It's just sometimes, and look at how we talk about it. I hit, that be enough. But share our bodies. Now here's the thing, here's the thing. I'm not gonna act like I'm not sometimes that nigga. But here recently, Trip, I got you. Here recently, you know, I've been single for about 8 months now, right? And I've been slow to get back into dating and having sex with women. And chiefly on the have sex with women part. Now that I've deprioritized that being a goal for me, it changed my life because now I only go out or spend time or talk to a woman if she makes me feel better, feel enlightened. I know. Because here's the thing, how many times would I trade it speaking or dating or going out with a woman that could enlighten my mind? Because you know what? I could do that, but I know she ain't gonna give me none. So I'm gonna spend time with this low energy, low effort woman just to have sex. So brothers, that's what dick discipline is about. Trip, did you have something?
Yeah, on some fake deep shit. What's the attendance tonight?
Say it again.
What's the attendance tonight?
It's about 4,200.
4,200. That mean like not including niggas in relationships, it's probably like 47 to 96 real niggas in attendance. I just want to talk to y'all real quick, now on some cool shit. Mike hit on it, but I think we kind of bypassed it, like it's not major. Boys, but especially black boys, brown boys, we're taught to wear sexual trauma as trophies. And I think we overlook the forceful nature that many of us are introduced to sexuality, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally, whether again it's through media, but sexuality is forced onto boys. You become a social outcast early for not outwardly displaying sexual aggression towards girls. Aggression, not just interest, my nigga.
Aggression.
You a punk if you don't go slap that girl ass on the playground. So that early you become a social leper for not sexually assaulting a girl, right? And we overlook these things because they're boys or because they're kids, right? But this is what a lot of us are facing. So when we become these men who hunt women, you have to understand, in order to dehumanize women, everything is a projection. We had to dehumanize ourselves first. Many men do not value their bodies outside of its ability to perform, because that's what you measure a man by. Ain't that what we measure men by? Protection is your ability to perform. Provision is your ability to perform. Well, this is the dark side of that, right? This is the underbelly. Everything got another side to it. And this expectation of men sexually to perform starts early. Much earlier than I think we admit. This behavior starts in boys. We just don't check it. Because it's easier to raise boys, right? Because boys are going to be boys until they become fucked up men, and we wonder how they got that way. Our boys are fucked up, good people. Y'all's boys are fucked up, good people. That ain't no shot. This coming from a motherfucker that used to teach him. That used to watch it happen, because I taught from middle to high school, and that's where it happens. From 12 to 14, something changes. And when the hormones start to fire and nobody is there to direct it, nobody is there to help them understand it, help them hone it, the only thing a lot of our boys are left with is aggression. Misdirected at that. And what's one of the easiest ways for a man, for a boy to have his performance validated? Women. Every time I wanted to be validated, when I was at my most broken, I could hop into bed to perform. Again and again. And this is not fun. You have to understand how low you take yourself to disregard your entirety, to lay in the bed, to let someone else tell you you enough. This not me as a grown-ass man. This me at 17, 18, trying to figure out how to be a man and using women to build the picture.
Having raw sex.
I wasn't having raw sex, man.
Yeah.
I can
I'm
count.
oversharing tonight.
I can still count how many times I had raw sex. I wasn't having raw sex. But I was still doing too much fucking, was the point. Fucking that was empty. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not making excuses for niggas. You feel me? I just think there's a much larger issue to investigate in our community that becomes easy to scapegoat to men not having discipline, because it's easy for us to continue to disregard our boys by telling them early on that they need to be men. Okay, listen, community, fuck with me for a second. And I wanted to talk to the real niggas because the mentorship is up to us. That's why I want to talk to men, because we're responsible for reaching our young men. That's us. We have to stop subscribing to this narrative that boys are easy to raise when we have evidence that the men are fucked up. Grown-ass men still trying to figure it out, and this is coming from a grown-ass man that's still trying to figure it out. After therapy, after all that, we have to stop. After being the grown-ass men that are fucked up, seeing the grown-ass men that are fucked up, dating the grown-ass men that are fucked up, we got enough evidence between the 4,200 motherfuckers in here to say, niggas fucked up. It did not start when we were grown. The 98 real niggas in the room will tell you that. I was lost before I was 18. 18 was just when the world stripped me of excuses for being lost.
Yeah.
We got to get our boys together, man.
Okay. What's your name? What's your question?